Good morning. It's the preacher, and good to see you guys again. I'm out here in the garden getting a little tomato planting going on this morning. Our tomato plants they weren't really too big. We could have kept fertilizing and watering, but we've got a good little window today. It's been raining quite a bit. We've had sunshine for a couple days, and it's supposed to start raining again. So we wanted to get the tomatoes planted, and so today we planted all the tomatoes that we're going to have in this garden. And I want to go around and show you what we planted and where we planted them. That way, when I get to wondering what they are, because I don't label anything, I go back and watch this video again. And since I'm monetized, I guess I make like 1/3 of a cent to go back and figure out where I planted what. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win. Anyways, you saw me going around watering the plants, and you say, well, them plants don't look very big. Well, that's because we buried them deep. And let me show you something. Right here on the other side of this trellis, we planted some indigo cherries. These are kind of a dark cherry tomato with an indigo blue stripe on them. And so when you look at the tomatoes, you're going to notice that our gardens are mulched in straw, except for where I'm growing radishes and onions. I didn't mulch that, but everything else is mulched in straw. So what we do when we plant these tomatoes is we take those two, I don't know, I guess you call them seed leaves. You know, that's the first thing that pops off on them. We take those off, and then we plant dirt up to here on tomatoes. All these little hairy things you see on the tomato stems, those can all become roots. They've just got to be in contact with dirt. So we take a 4-pack like this. We only needed 2. So we planted the 2 biggest and best looking tomato plants. And so this one here obviously smaller than this one, and this one was obviously smaller than these. So when you look at these plants, you got to remember they're probably 6 inches deep, and you're just seeing the top. Now let's talk about straw in the bed. As you can see behind me, we do this for a number of reasons. Number one, a thick mat of straw, once it gets wet and packs down, will suppress weeds just as good or better than any other mulch on the market. Number two, it holds in water. Water will fall and go down through the straw, and that mat and that bright color of the straw, the yellow shiny color, will reflect some of that heat and keep the soil cooler, therefore retaining more moisture and cutting down on evaporation. Number three, and especially with tomatoes, straw around the base of your plants like this will prevent rain from splashing mud up on them. If you look at a lot of the onions and radishes that I have planted behind you, I'll show you those in a minute. When we look at them, you're going to see dirt splashed all over their lower leaves. That's from rain hitting the dirt they're planted in and splashing the dirt up on there. They say that's how you transfer like blight and a lot of other diseases to your tomatoes, as you splash mud on the leaves. If you mulch it in straw, the rain hits the straw, no dirt on that. And so that's why we push the straw right up around the plant. And so it helps. So 3 things. Cuts down on weeds, makes your water go further, and reduces the chance of disease on your tomatoes. So let me walk you around the garden. I'll show you what all we planted, and then I'll take you in and show you some baby chicks that we got hatching in the kitchen. If I can get my wife away from them. She's like chicken mother. She's in there like brooding over them over a hen, watching them hatch. So we'll go in there in a little bit and I'll show you those. How's Champ doing? Well, there you have it. Champ's doing fine. Hey, buddy, you happy? Huh? You spoiled rotten? Are you spoiled? Are you spoiled? Just a little? Okay, if you were looking at my garden, I guess this would be the northeast side. If you were looking at my garden, this bed right here has brandywines in it. And we have 4 brandywines spread out. This is an 8-foot bed, so we have them about every 2 foot. And then we have these cages. I don't know how well they're showing up on there, but if you've seen any of my gardening videos, we made these out of concrete reinforcement wire. And so we have 4 brandywines there. And then on the end, we have 3. You can see them, 1, 2, and 3. Those are yellow brandywines. Then we have, this is a cattle panel arched over. We usually grow cherry tomatoes on this. It makes them a lot easier to pick because you have to pick a ton of them. So we have the indigo cherries right there on this side. On that side, next to the onions and radishes, I will be putting, I think it's called Golden Sundrops or Yellow Sundrops. 67 Rebel SST sent me those last year, and I've got them waiting to sprout up there. Right here in between the two grow arches, we'll have a tomato cage and just a panel. And these are Robeson tomatoes, which are similar to the purple Russians we grew last year. Kind of a oblong shaped, deep purple tomato. Then over here on this grow arch, as you can see, we got an arch that goes up and around and down. On that side of the grow arch, we have Fantasticos, which are a little bright red tomato. Not exactly round, but pretty close to that. Here we have something we've grown every year. These are golden pears. So what we've tried to do is grow some different colors. We love the golden pear tomatoes. They're little pear-shaped, you know, about 1.5 inches long, and they're sweet. They're great for salads, but yellow's all we have. So what we want are bright red, indigo, which is blue and red striped, and these, and we think it'll be good on a salad. Andamio, I don't know how you say that. I'll give you a close-up of it. That's the last of the tomatoes there. And they grow kind of long and skinny, kind of look like a jalapeno pepper, except longer. And they're supposed to be good for pasting, you know, sauces and salsas, and we do a lot of that. Oh, we got 2 more I didn't show you in the containers. We grow Tasmanian chocolates in the containers, and let me show you those. Nothing special there, just 2 Tasmanian chocolates. We grow these under the big, tall tomato cages. The reason we grow these out here with these just green tomato cages on them instead of the big, tall 5-foot concrete wire cages, these are a determinate variety. They're only going to get so big, they're going to make one major crop of tomatoes, and then they're done. And last year we left them in here even after they produced, and we got another 2 or 3 tomatoes off the pear. So this year, once they make their initial crop, these are kind of a dark, they call them a chocolate, but we really, really like these for slicing and just salt and pepper and eat. These are very good. Let me show you the rest of the garden, kind of give you an update. Well, barring some drastic change of events, I should have a bunch of blueberries. I don't know how well you can see them, but they've sure made a lot. Over here's the thyme. I transplanted this from last year in another part of the garden, and behind it is rosemary, and it's doing well. Here we have yellow zucchini. My wife likes squash, I like zucchini, so hopefully we compromised and got yellow zucchini, maybe something we both can like. See a lot of buds down in there coming on. We grow marigolds in these pots. See, we can pick them up and move them around. Marigolds run off a lot of your bugs. They don't like the smell of them, and so what we're trying to do is put them in pots, and then we just move them wherever there's bug problem. Usually squash bugs are a problem, so we put them near the squash plants. So anyways, got 4 in this 8-foot bed. Give you a look at the onions and radishes. That whole bed is doing really good. Onions are growing. They'll be making bulbs before too long. I've had a couple of radishes already. Those are Easter egg radishes. Some are purple, some are red, some are white. Get you down in there. There's one I could eat in a day or two. A day or two? Who am I kidding? I might eat that before I go inside. We planted the 2 rows of onions spaced so they would make big bulbs, and then all the leftovers we stuck at the end of this bed right here. And as you can see, they're doing well. And I've had a couple of green onions. We just come out, say we want one, we just come out, pull it, strip the outer leaves off. You got spring onions or green onions. That's how we eat them. There's a container of zinnias. There's my deal. You know, I'm growing this in the old Lego container. I did this last year. I had 2 rows. I came out here one morning and these 2 were gone. I mean, they were nubs. I came out the next morning, these 2 were stalks. Something's eating them. So I'm going to come out here at night. It was eating them during the night. So I came out here at night and I caught him. And Deal gets a little green and black striped worm that seems to like it, and it's small. I mean, it'll be 1 inch long, and they lay right on the stems. If it's bigger, they'll just hide on the stems. You can spot them, but these are small. He was laying down in this dark dirt. I couldn't see him, but I caught him up on a stem last night and squashed him, I had no further damage. So this side will probably be saved. Where those radishes are, they will soon be getting these cucumbers. As I eat out a little portion of radishes, I'm going to drop a cucumber in there. So you can see I got 4 ready to go on a 12-foot panel. This is kind of my wife's deal. We grew birdhouse and loofah gourds last year, and we just went up in the woods in the front. Everywhere. I mean, my yard is woods, okay? You get it? We went up in the front yard, which is woods, and planted them on the fence. And we grew several birdhouse gourds and several loofah gourds. But we wanted to treat them a little better. So we got some more of these panels. I'm going to plant muscadines on that today or tomorrow or something, sooner or later. We put another arch together. Champ's gardening it. Look at him. He's always walking the perimeter, eating grass. So over here we have birdhouse gourds on this side, and we've just got it wired off with a couple of coat hangers. Yeah. So it's tall enough to stand under with nothing growing on it, and I'm about 5'8", so it's probably, I don't know, 6 foot. So there's your birdhouse gourds, and they're just starting to put out tentacles. If you can see that, they'll start wanting to latch on. There's one right there. And as soon as they get like that, we'll lean them over and let them grab hold, and they'll just crawl up this. On this side are the loofahs. If you plant loofahs, they seem to grow real slow, and they don't seem to do anything until the end of summer, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got a bunch of loofah gourds. So we got 2 loofah gourds there. And I'd like to make some muscadine jelly, especially to give away to the church, but that'll probably be next year. Over here's the blackberry vine, or blackberry cane, if you will. See all the blooms? You can see how the blooms start out like this, go to this, and then you start forming blackberries. And then down in here is my wife's strawberry patch. There's a few strawberries in there. 4, 12. We probably got 16 plants or more, tomato plants. I don't know about that, I'm just guessing. We got around 16 planted, okay? I probably put 5 gallons of water on those. The reason being is not because they were thirsty or because the dirt was dry. I put the water on there so that it would settle them down, and they would get into where they need to be, and that would make good contact on those roots with the soil, and the moisture would soften the soil. It really gives them a jump start if you water heavy that first time. Anyways, let's go check these chickens without further delay. Let's see if I can get you a look at them. There you go. I think there's 4 in here right now. Yeah, there's 4. Kind of see the head of one walking on the other, and the other 2. Last night or yesterday afternoon we had 3 hatch out. Let me show you those. There they are. They've already fluffed out, and all right, I'll show you some more chicken footage as we get it. But as of right now, we've got 7 hatched. And of course, there's several more with cracks in them, so it's going to keep going all day. Anyways, I may do another chicken video later after we get them out. I just want to get the garden update done because a lot of people were asking about the garden, and a lot of people are asking about the chickens. So that's 2 birds, 1 stone. Thanks for watching.
I need to get him to look at you.
You need to scoot on. You need to back up. Back up, Terry.